This is Hoodies. Yo, welcome back to another dope session of Footies the Podcast. I'm the host, Degar Rashidi, coming at you live from the Skill Suite. Well, maybe not so live, but we coming at you. And all that good stuff. Yo, check it. I'm in nerd mode. Listen. Until you have money to finance your temptations, don't brag about morals. Too much is hidden in poverty. Olufemi Owoyemi. Who the hell is that, right? Who the hell is this man? Olufemi Owoyemi. Alright. This brother is a Nigerian native, Lagos to be exact, right? He is the current CEO and founder and chairman of ProShare Nigeria. Okay? Okay, so what is ProShare? You wondering? ProShare is an issuer of exchange traded funds, including inverse exchange trade funds and similar products. What is exchange traded funds? Right? That is a type of investment fund that is also an exchange traded product. For example, it's traded on stock exchanges, ETFs, own financial assets such as stocks, bonds, currencies, debts, future contracts, and or commodities such as gold bars. Now, this part right here, or the stuff that I just read, really doesn't even matter. I was just giving just a little something about the individual who gave the world this quote. And again, it reads, until you have money to finance your temptations, don't brag about morals. Too much is hidden in poverty. So before we get into that, let me just give you a little sidebar real quick. When I was a little dude, a little youngin', living over south side of Chicago, right? I believe we was living on 65th and Rose at the time. I was seeing this young lady. Well, I saw a couple young ladies on the block, but this one young lady, I had this one young lady I was messing with, and then I had a homie named Philip Danzy, right? So Philip Danzy was like a couple doors down, talking to the young lady I was talking to. Now, this dude that my mom's was seeing at the time, named James Vealey, he said to me, hey, be careful and have your homies around your girlfriend. You might try to talk to him for herself. Now, me being young and naive, I was like, man, nah, that's my friend. He would never do nothing like that. He said, shh, that's because you ain't had a girl pretty enough. That's what he said to me. Oh, man, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I'm young. I'm, 15, something like that? Totally oblivious to what he was talking about. Fast forward years later, I'm living in Maryland. I live with my pop. I'm in Maryland. I'm going to this high school, Albert Einstein High School. I may have told this story some years ago. This friend of mine named Tim. He was I want to say he was probably he wasn't Nigerian, but his parents was. Either Nigeria or Ghana. Anyway, so Tim was short for something. It was all over Tim, but he narrowed it down to Tim. Anyway, Tim asked me to go talk to this broad form. Her name was Uloma, and she was Nigerian. So I went over to talk to Uloma, and Uloma was fine. She was beautiful. Beautiful name for the most part. Her name was Uloma. So I go over to talk to Uloma for Tim. I go over, I get close to Uloma. I talk to her, it's before my name changed. So I say to her, I'm like, yo, how you doing? I'm Eddie. What's your name? Uloma. I said, oh, wow, that's a pretty name. I said, you a pretty girl too. She was like, thank you, you handsome. So I got her number. And back then, the term we used was book. I booked her, meaning I got her number. But see, I got her number for myself though. I still gave a copy of the number to my man Tim, but I kept one for myself. Now fast forward a little time after that, by the time Tim worked up enough guts to actually call her, I had already done that. And established a little foundation. She wasn't my girl yet, but I had a little foundation with her already. So by the time he called her, she's like, oh, nah, I'm rocking with Eddie. I'm with Eddie. So she's telling me on the phone while I'm talking to her, she was like, well, yeah, your boy Tim called me. I hope I didn't step on nobody's toes or nothing like that. So of course Tim's feeling some type of way. We was about to fight over that. And then I ended up taking another girl from him. That wasn't cool. I'm not condoning none of that. But that's when it hit me. What James Villy has said years ago. You see what I'm saying? It didn't make sense then because I had never met a girl who was pretty enough yet. So let's go back to the quote of the brother I mentioned in the beginning. Olufemi Owoyemi. Okay? One more time. Until you have money to finance your temptations, don't brag about morals. Too much is hidden in poverty. Okay? So, I'm saying that to bring it all home to say that it's easy if you're in one financial bracket. You know, your financial status is one thing. It's easy to say, man, I'll never move over to no bougie neighborhood. I'll never forget, you know what I'm saying, where I come from. Well, it's easy to say that when you broke. It's real easy to say that. You see what I'm saying? It's real easy to say, man, I'll never, switch up for no money, man. It ain't enough money in the world to make me switch up and do something different and act and start talking different and whatnot. Yeah, that's because, like he said, a lot of things are hidden, concealed in poverty. When you ain't got no money, you know what I mean? You're already in that state of being. So as far as you're concerned, I never do no shit. I never move all the way over there. And no, I'm gonna stay true to my roots. I'm gonna stay true to this and true to that. Sure, that's because it's easy to talk like that when you ain't got no fucking money. It's easy to talk like that when you fucking broke. You understand? My second born son, when I stay in Tampa, I stay at a pretty decent hotel. Right? And he says to me one day, just joking around, but he was like, hey, well, listen, you could stay at a hotel around here instead of staying at that hotel. But hey, if you want to be around a bunch of boozy white folk, then that's your thing. And of course, my reply to him was, hey, I've lived in enough crummy, hole in the wall hotels. I've walked on hotel carpets so dirty with no socks on, you look at the bottom of your feet and the bottom of your feet is fucking black. That's a crummy ass hole in the wall hotel. So now, I'm doing a little better than I was then. Hell no, I ain't staying in no dump. I'ma stay in something plush. And it just so happens that, the plush hotels, there's black folk there, but there's way more white folk. There's white folks at the hole in the walls too. Don't get that twisted. Don't get it twisted and thinking if something is plush and shit like that, there ain't no white people there. I mean, if something is plush or, that there's only white people there, or getting mixed up here. Or if something is crummy or a hole in the wall, it ain't no white people there. Yeah, they there too. White folk be broke too. You understand? And just like in the plush hotels, the 3-star and better hotels, black folk be up in there too. Right? But here's the thing. It's easy to say stuff like, oh, well, shoot, if you want to stay with the bougie white folks, see, it's easy to say stuff like that when your money's a little funny. When your money funny, you talk like that. You say shit like that. No disrespect to anybody, my son, or anybody. That's the mentality of the space that you're already in. Right? If you a hip hop head and you're familiar with Mobb Deep, you know what I'm saying? Havoc for Mobb Deep in his verse in Survival of the Fittest, we live in this to the day that we die. Survival of the fit, only strong survive. One of the bars in his verse says, no matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects forever. Jake's on the block, we out clever. Hear that again. No matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects forever. Listen, I don't know this for sure, but I bet you money. I bet you money, all the money in your pocket right now, that Havoc don't live in the projects. Havoc does not live in the fucking projects. See, at the time That's where his mind was. You know what I'm saying? At the time, he probably wasn't too far removed, from having, came up in the projects. You see what I'm saying? It's easy to say shit like that when you're down. But when you up, you see things a little different. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our, a lot of our bullshit. See, we don't tap into a whole lot of, we don't have access to access because we're broke. You see what I'm saying? Some people say things like, should I never change for money? Yeah, that's because you ain't had enough yet. You haven't had enough yet. So it's easy to talk about morals and what you would and wouldn't do. It's easy to talk about that shit when you broke. But let you have enough money to finance your temptations. See, some people, because their money's a little funny, might only smoke weed on the weekends. I'm only because you can't keep affording to go re-up all the time. So in order to stretch your shit, you probably only gonna smoke on Saturday and Sunday so you can preserve your shit. But when you got dough to finance that habit or that temptation, that's when you can talk about morals. See, it's easy to say it when you've got nothing. When you ain't done nothing or been nowhere, you always talk a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Get you some dough. You know what I'm saying? Come around a pretty ass woman. See, a lot of dudes, back to the thing about women. See, a lot of dudes talk a lot of bullshit about how, I ain't never do this for no bitch, man. Shit, fuck all that, until they get around pretty women. When you get around really attractive women, or sometimes it's just women, period. Okay? But let's take real attractive women. Real attractive women. Watch how some of your peers act around those attractive women. They act real different. They start pandering a lot. They start acting mad funny when they get around beautiful women. See, it was easy for a man to talk about, man, shit, I never do this, that, and the third, because they probably ain't been around no fine ass women. Okay? Now, I've been around some attractive women, some model types. I've been around some beautiful women. My woman's beautiful. I've been around some beautiful women. You see what I'm saying? And I'm me around beautiful women. I wasn't always like that. Okay? I wasn't always like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just arrive here. I had to get there. But a lot of men will start pandering and acting funny and acting the ways, you know what I'm saying, around, beautiful women. Women, period, but especially around beautiful women. I was out with a homie few years ago, and we was at this club right here in Newport News, and if he's watching this, he probably already know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Cole Ass Ross. And we was at this place, I think it's called District 51 or Area 51, something, not Area 51, it's District 51, something like that, right? And we was there. When we first got there, he's like, nah, I'm good, I ain't gonna drink. So I get me a Corona, I'm cooling, I'm chilling whole nine. Now, in this place, right? In this place, it's like a sports bar. You know what I'm saying? You get drinks. There's sports, on the screen. In fact, we saw a fight with Wilder and some dude. Wilder won that fight. Whatever. And so he sees some young ladies he saw some young ladies that he knew in this sports bar. And they saw him. So, he talked to them, finagled his way, over to them, and then got them to come sit at our table. Wouldn't you know? As soon as they came to sit at our table, wait, hey, let me get a blue motorcycle. I don't know if that's what he get, but I think it was blue. It might have been that. It might have been the blue motorcycle. I'm just saying, some men move a little different once women get around. I ain't trying to say he is simp or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, people, see, it's easy to say certain things when you're in a particular space. You know what I'm saying? When you in a particular, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say, shit, if I was on those airplanes when 9/11 happened, shit, I would have done whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I would have done this and done that. Really? Really, fam? You wouldn't have did shit. You don't know what you would have did. It's easy to talk that way when you're in a particular position, in a particular space. You know what I'm saying? But let you be in a position where you can actually afford your temptations. You can actually afford to trick off. Now talk to me about how you faithful to your woman, this, that, and the third. If you got enough money to catch a flight and go somewhere, stay someplace plush, up high, you know what I'm saying? And you can get another little something to come through, or maybe fly something out. Have the financials to do that, and then talk about morals. Then talk about your fucking morals, fam. See what I'm saying? Poverty, or being poor, or when your money's funny, with your money being funny conceals a whole bunch of temptation. It conceals a whole bunch of shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are just, you know what I'm saying, an income tax check away from doing the dumbest shit ever. Word. Too much is hidden in poverty, fam. Word. It's a race against time. My next client will be here in a half hour, so I got time, but I don't plan on being here too long. So I just want to say to you viewers, you lovers of podcasts or any podcast, broadcast, sports debate show, whatever, right? Or just some sort of documentary. Say the documentary's on the Illuminati. Or say the documentary is on, or just say the video is on the Illuminati. Let's say the video is on, it's about uncovering how star athletes are on performance enhancement drugs, PEDs, right? Listen, y'all got to start using your brain, man. What do I mean by that? Listen, anybody can take photos of celebrities, you know what I'm saying? Be it rappers, singers, actors, podcasters, whatever, right? And along with that, have a video in the background, a looping video that plays over and over, okay? Some music in the background, and the music will be, I don't know, it'll sound dramatic, it'll sound real sentimental, it'll sound real abstract, it'll sound real spooky and trippy in the background, right? And then on top of that, they'll talk in a certain way, the Illuminati and Lil Wayne in the Illuminati has the sixes here, and all that shit, and say it, and either cater the wordage around the sound of the background music, or have the background music match the wordage and this, that, and the third. Be clear, right? Anybody can do that. So what you would want to ask yourself is, if this shit, like the Illuminati, if it is so fucking top secret, if it is so hidden and so, if it's concealed and covered, right? How are you privy to that information? I've noticed that folk who do these type of videos, they never cite their source. I've also noticed that the people who indulge in watching these types of things, you ask them, how do they know? Oh, it's obvious. No, it's not obvious. At least not to a person like me. You have to do harder than that. I'm gonna need. Okay, I get it. You probably can't reveal your source, so you probably can't cite it. But you're gonna have to do more than just talk. You know what I'm saying? You got to do more than that. Because anybody, if you scroll down and go to, I forget which number episode it is, but it's called Babu. It's a little mini documentary that I did about my maternal grandfather. If you watch that, that'll give you an inkling of, it's not hard. Only the documentary I did on my grandfather, that's factual, because you see the pictures there. The pictures are there. You know what I'm saying? Of my grandfather doing the things that I'm saying that he's doing. Make any sense? So in these Illuminati videos, they're just simply pictures of different celebrities, from rappers to actors to this, that, and the third. It's never them engaging in this in this activity that's so demonic and secret and this, that, and the third. So where are you getting your information from then? Why is the source never cited? Why can't I get a book and read about this stuff? How is this individual so privy to something so secret? Ooh. If it's some sort of documentary about, star athletes, say a LeBron James or this or that, being on PEDs. Now, by the way, the DEA, and I'm not necessarily sure if the DEA is federal or not. If it is federal, from what I understand, I don't know all the ins and outs with federal, this, that, and third. I don't know all the ins and outs. Okay, so I'm only going to speak to what I know, and I'm telling you right off rip, I don't know a lot when it comes to that. But I am of the belief that when the feds get involved in something, they got you already. They've already gotten witnesses, testimonies, written statements, proof, and shit like that. I could be wrong. So by the time they come around, they got you, fam. The DEA investigated LeBron James, about the PED use, and found nothing, and found him to be not guilty, or found him to not be in use of PEDs. But the podcaster is still spitting that shit about how so and so is on PEDs. No pictures, no nothing, just a bunch of talk. I'm gonna need more than that. Again, I get it. You probably can't cite your source. You probably can't do that, and I get it. But is there a picture of someone in that man's circle with said products on them? You know what I'm saying? Do you have any proof of someone in his circle around him with the goods on him? I want proof. I need more proof than that before I just sit up here and believe it. Now, I get it. Some of y'all, you rock with that type of content because 9 times out of 10, the person is talking about an athlete that you probably deep down jealous of in the first fucking place. Or the deep down, they're already talking about an athlete or some star or whoever, and you don't fuck with him anyway. And you know the old saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? You figure since they talking about somebody that you don't care about too tough, hey, I'ma fuck with it. Because I don't like that nigga anyway. And do what you do. I ain't no judgment here. I think that's trash. So I guess that is a judgment. Oh well. I guess that's a judgment. My point is, you gotta be more discerning, man. You gotta be a little more discerning. Stop being sheep. Stop being so easily swayed one way or the other. Use your fucking brain. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Use your fucking brain. Just use your brain. Thinking is free. And again, like I said in the last pod, a lot of these podcasters are banking on that. They banking on the fact that you don't understand most of the shit they talking about. That's probably why you're so fascinated. That's probably why you're so enamored with them. You understand? And then with that, and then the Illuminati videos, listen, a lot of you are a bunch of religious chumps anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're so easily manipulated. You're so easily enamored and manipulated by religion. A person can, for the most part, say whatever it is they want and end it in Jesus' name, amen. And religious chumps will eat it up every time. They'll eat it up every single time. I'm just saying, you have to be more discerning, man. Stop being a sucker. Ask for more. It's that time of year, well, not quite, but this year, heading into November. I guess they'll probably start cooking more in the summer. They'll be, well, even now they're doing tours and things of that nature. I think almost about a month ago, Trump was in Richmond, Virginia, doing there's a Trump rally, whatever. So, presidential candidates are, on tour right now, going from place to place, getting you to vote for them, right? Both Democrats, Republicans, independents, whatever. So real quick, since we're on discernment, right? Listen, just like they've been doing forever, right? They're going to come around to your community centers. They're going to come around to your churches. I'm talking about the black community centers and the black churches. They're going to come around. They're going to do the Dougie. That ain't the Dougie. But they're going to come around. They're going to dance a jig. They're going to shook and jive. They're going to tell you a whole bunch of shit you want to hear. They're going to talk to you about how racism is so fucked up. They're going to tell you everything you want to hear. They may even pull some hot sauce from their fucking purse. Okay? Along with that, they're going to get some celebrities, your favorite rapper, your favorite actor, your favorite black talk show host, Oprah, probably Sexy Red, and whoever else they can get, you know what I'm saying, to coerce you. Well, they'll get Sexy Red and the rappers to coerce the young folk to go vote for them. They're going to use them, or even like the likes of Glorilla and folk like that, to get them to endorse, to get Glorilla and all these, celebrity rappers or whatever, and use them as tools to coerce you to go to the polls and vote for them. You understand? They're going to pray with you. They're going to sing a couple songs with you. Some of them will get down and dirty in the church with you. Just pandering for your vote. I said, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Yeah, that's from the Root soundtrack, but listen, that's how low a lot of these candidates will stoop to get you to vote for them. The Lord, they touched by the Lord. Shout out Bosha. Ooh, shout out Bosha. Next thing you know, you go down to the polls and you vote for them, and you'll never see them motherfuckers again. You'll never see them again. They will not make good on any of this shit they said. They ain't gonna make good on none of it. And you might not even see them in 4 years. And if you do see him in 4 years, it's just to come back around and pander for your vote again. And they've been doing this since forever. There are elderly folk to this day that break their fucking neck to go vote Democrat. They don't even know what that candidate stands for. Okay? And then this is also the year, and as time progresses going into November, is when people start really debating about Democrat, Republican, this, that, and the third. Listen, man. Democrat, Republican are just two wings on the same bird. That bird being the government. They don't give a fuck about none of us. Yeah. But you'd be hard pressed to get folk to believe that. And for the folk who are listening, with that, come on, man. Use more discernment. See it for what it is. Okay, at least get something for your vote. At least get something for it. You get nothing but a good time. And that's about it. That's about it. And that's all I got to say about that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So again, it behooves us to be careful of the things we say that we won't do. You know what I'm saying? Because be mindful of it. Because you just never know. You might just be saying it because of where you are now. But let you have access to some shit. That's when your morals and discipline really comes into play. Men, if you are a man of purpose, right? A man of discipline, your purpose and your discipline, okay, you'll be tested to see how disciplined you are when you meet you a new broad. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be disciplined enough to put your purpose first, or you going to abandon your purpose to be with that woman. Because be clear, you being disciplined in your purpose is part of the reason why she wanted to talk to you in the first place. It's part of the reason why she wanted to go ahead and invite you in that box anyway. That's a little vulgar, but y'all get what I'm saying. That's probably why she want to rock with you anyway. Do not put a woman before your purpose. Dead ass. Do not do that. Because in the end, you'll lose both. You know what I'm saying? And listen, you can probably, that's probably applicable on both sides, both men and women. You understand what I'm saying? And it's something else I would like to talk about. I'll make it brief. I'll make it very brief. Real brief, I would like to talk about mental health. Mental health. Look, I get it. We all got things we deal with. All of us. I don't care how dope you say your life was or is. We all got stuff that we deal with, right? But I am of the belief that a lot of folk be using mental health as an excuse to check out. Check out of what? To check out of real life. To check out of taking life serious. To check out of being responsible. To check out of holding themselves accountable or just being held accountable, period. Like, I don't want to hear things like, I'm unstable or I do this because of my upbringing. And nah, you don't get to say things like that and then not do anything about it. Because the longer you go without talking to someone like a therapist or whoever, like that's your job, to get therapy to deal with those issues. Okay, just because you've got a mental health situation going on, I'm not saying your mental health situation is fake, but if you are self-aware enough to know that you've got some shit that you need help with, some shit that you need to talk about, hey, listen, some of us, right? And I'm saying us because we're all connected, right? Some of us may need medication to help regulate our emotions. There's something going on, perhaps a chemical imbalance. And be clear, I'm not making fun of anybody. Okay? I'm about to make my point. So, like I was saying, you may have to take some sort of medication to help regulate our temperament, our emotions, our this and our that. But when I'm saying that to say that none of us are obligated to suffer you. If you know you've got an issue that needs to be addressed, then shut the fuck up and address it. Address it. Address that issue. I've said this a few episodes back that if your mental health is at a point to where you feel suicidal, no matter where you are, I am almost certain that you go to Safari on your phone. You know what I'm saying? You may be able to even ask Siri that I need the number to a suicide hotline. Call that and get yourself some help. I'm almost certain that the person on the line can give you the help you need or direct you toward the help that you need. If in fact you are feeling suicidal. That ain't nothing to play with. You understand? I get it. It's all real. But I do believe, right, that a lot of folk are using mental health as an excuse to check out. I can check out of being responsible, being accountable. You know what I'm saying? I can keep fucking up and doing this and doing that. And as soon as somebody tells me about myself, be it a parent or a loved one or someone who really gives a shit about us enough to tell us the truth. And as soon as we do that, we want to claim, man, I'm not right, man. I got it now. Okay, we get it. But what are you going to do about it? You've been humming that tune for a minute. What are we going to do about this? Because we don't have to sit around and suffer you because you got all this stuff going on. Let's get some help. All right? And I get it real quick that, a lot of this medication, from what I hear, I'm not on any of it, but from what I hear from people who have taken some things because, for one reason or another, mental health, sometimes it makes them feel some type of way. It makes them feel empty or blah. I can't explain that. I'm just telling you what I've been told. But you got a choice here. We can keep checking out, not being responsible or accountable, or we could do what we got to do, or find other means of regulating yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say about that. Real quick, I want to say thank you for your subs, your likes, your comments, the whole nine. Because if you're commenting, that means that you actually watched it. I don't care if it was for 2 seconds. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for watching. I'm going to get out of here. Get ready for my next client. So thank you for watching again. And yeah, man. Yeah. I'm the God Rashidi. And this is Hoodies. Peace. Hey. This is Hoodies.